What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz podcast. We about to recap UFC 301, where Pantoja successfully defended his flyweight belt against Steve Erceg. But as always, before we jump into this, go down, like, and subscribe. Comment your thoughts. What did you think about the decision? What did you think about performances on both guys? And we're going to talk our favorite fights throughout this card. So let us know down below what was your fight of the night, all that. But as always, I'm Paul. Pick and win them. I'm joined with.
You already know, man. It's your boy Kev Waterboy, aka the People's Champ, aka the realest on your screen. Hey, Paul, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Everything except the main card was lit for this. Everything. The main card. I'm said that wrong as hell. Only the main card was popping crazy for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But before we get into that, who else is in this bit?
Your boy Southpaw Run Boxing, aka JP. Yeah, let's get into some UFC.
Yeah, fucking UFC 301. Y'all didn't know? With you, Rio de Janeiro. We're stacked with Brazilians all on this card. We didn't get to see, I think it was like 4 total finishes on this card. 1 due to doctor stoppage, so that was a little underwhelming. 7 went to the decision. But overall, not the biggest card. 300 is a hard card to follow, but I want to know y'all's honest thoughts on this card, because to me, this was a glorified fight night. This could have went on a fight night and everyone would have been happy with it. This could have been like next week with UFC St. Louis, a non-pay-per-view, pretty sturdy card, but $80 and kind of reaching, Dana.
I mean, I look at it like when the Brazilians win, this crowd and this environment in Brazil is insane. So I can see why they pump it up and they really charge you what they charge. But this card, it wasn't hitting like that, because I think the Brazilians kind of were a little favored in the matchmaking. So they were kind of a lot of them were kind of maybe a little bit light years ahead of a lot of their challenges and their opponents and stuff. So it's like an for me. I'm not mad at it, but it's just like a yeah. I give it a 6.5.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to top that UFC 300 card. So, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of knew this was going to be a historically weak card. You know what I'm saying? That 300 card was just too good, and they used all their good fighters for this card. You know what I'm saying? We got some good cards coming up. So this is just like that sacrifice pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Every single year has a sacrifice pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? There's 2 fire pay-per-views and there's one up, mid.
No, that makes sense. And also, I mean, it's not a bad time to sacrifice your pay-per-view when you know it's Canelo Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Yeah, it's Canelo, it's May, you know what I'm saying? UFC and May is just kind of
You just sacrifice this to the combat gods and keep it moving.
Yeah, you got Kyron coming back, so big money fights ahead. You know what I'm saying? They're not losing too much sleep, losing money on this one.
Yeah. Well,
I'm also not mad just off the fact that I also know your main event got took to go to main event 300 because they couldn't find a main event for 300. So the fact that they got the Jose Aldo thing and they got that storyline going, that was cool. Admitted Shogun Ruan to the Hall of Fame, that was cool. So I think they did a lot of things to kind of make it work, but you could tell they wanted Oliveira, they wanted
but
Alex Maeda, they wanted those
Polton teasing his on Twitter and social media before a week prior to the card, and people were hinting at maybe he jumps on this card, which would have been nuts. That didn't help it either. You gave your UFC fans some blue balls with that whole Polton might be on this last minute fill-in fight for 301. But we all digress. Now let's digest UFC 301 for everybody. We can start honestly towards the bottom. Just real quick, Ismael Bonfim, he won an unanimous decision. He was one of the biggest prospects on this card. Him and his brother. His brother wasn't on this card, but the Bonfim brothers are big over in Brazil. And he gets a decision win over UFC longtime vet Vic Pichel. Honestly, didn't make it easy. I mean, it looked easy for him, but Vic Pichel made him go all 3 rounds. Everyone thought it was going to be a finish, but that 40-year-old guy is fucking tough. Bonfim brothers, they both took losses last year, so I know they're young prospects, but everyone was hyping them up. Similar to how some people feel about other UFC hype trains. The Bonfim brothers was probably the biggest Brazilian hype train coming out in a little while. So good to see at least they start off getting some dubs this year.
Yeah, Pacho. Yeah, Pacho. He's old as hell. You know what I'm saying? He was way back like when even like the early corner, even like the early corner days, he was fighting. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there for a long time. But both of them, he did what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? He showed that he's like that and he's next to him. He used both his hands from both. You know what I'm saying? And he beat him with both his hands. You know what I'm saying? That guy's tough. You know, he's tough. Some of these Brazilians are built different. You know what I'm saying? If he did what he used both his hands at an efficient level, he could be getting some right names.
Shout out to Gator for being a peacemaking ass nigga, man. I was expecting Bonfim to kill this dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know it was gonna be like a decision type fight. But shout out Bonfim for getting the win.
And honestly, yeah,
like crazy.
It was 30-27. He definitely won every round, but it was just like you didn't go all the way through. Like pause.
Yeah.
Then we gotta talk. This is to me one of the. I mean, it's not even about the fight. On paper, TKO stoppage, doctor stoppage. Joe Anderson Brito beats Jack Shore. And these are two prospects. Jack Shore trying to fucking right his wrongs from the last year. Joe Anderson Brito on his fucking in front of his crowd, slight favorite against Jack Shore, the fuck invader from Wales, if you want to look at it like that. But so underwhelming. This was the fight that was supposed to be like one of the closest on paper. Like this was gonna be a fucking barn burner, a good way to start off the main card and all that. And then he's cut on the leg. I'm not gonna lie, it was a nasty cut. That bitch looked like a bullet hit him just to show how hard Joe Anderson Brito hits. But yeah, fucking Joe Anderson Brito definitely dominated the first round, was winning the second round. So he should have got the win. If it stops, they shouldn't have made it a no contest. But still, not a way you want to do it. The crowd wasn't too fucking enthusiastic. It sucks whenever like mid fight all crowd hype dies because then it goes to doctors in the octagon. Like there's no hype. It's quiet. Some people booing, all that stuff. And then all of a sudden you announce a winner that way. Like, oh, this guy won. It's like no one wanted that.
Yeah, I mean, at least he was Brazilian. I bet if Jack Shore won and the other dude had Joe Anderson had been the dude that got the doc that got told he could go, especially while he was winning, oh, they would have rioted.
Definitely one of the weirdest things I've ever. I don't think anyone on that, at least what I was seeing on Twitter, no one really was saying like, "Oh, this is normal." I think this is one of the first ever stoppages because of cut on the leg.
The way you make it sound, you make it seem like it's like this nigga got a boo boo.
Nah, man, that bitch was gushing. That bitch was cut. I saw RoboCop's fucking brain in between rounds once, and that motherfucker went out there and won that fight. Like
that was different though. That was different.
Throw a little Vaseline on that bitch and keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Fuck it.
Then main card. This is one of the few knockouts, real knockouts. Chao Barallo knocks out Paul Craig on the picks episode. This we were split into two fractions. Team fuck Paul Craig, and team Paul Craig still kind of got it. Put some respect.
Kind of a guy.
We're not saying we was going to war for Paul Craig.
You just say he cool people. He invited to the barbecue.
Yeah, right. He's decent. He's decent. Cool guy, right? But
I don't think I took Paul Craig.
Fucking smattered when Chow knocked his ass out with like the simplest left hand. I wasn't even like convinced. Oh, but that was the most.
Is that the new word? Smattered.
Smattered.
My dog got smattered.
I've never seen no shit. But the way he just flopped on the simple left hand, like head body, I was like really like, wow. Paul Craig's fuck Paul Craig. Never betting on Paul Craig. He's toast. You said he was gonna retire a couple after your win streak, right? Now you're on a losing streak. Hang him up. Gator, I can't remember what side of the fence you was on.
I know. I picked them. I didn't pick Paul Greg. I picked the other guy.
I mean, low key, the other guy 16-1. Like I think he's 6-0 in the UFC so far. Like
So I got this one right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he low key might be a problem for, and it's at middleweight.
one of
Yeah,
the worst
right.
neck tattoos in the UFC.
Huh.
That
So with this neck tattoo stuff lately. I've been seeing a new neck tattoo for the last. I've seen like 5 neck
yeah.
tattoos in the last 2 days. Like I can't
Oh wow,
escape
that
them.
is. Oh
I
wow, that
saw
is terrible. Free spirit. Yeah, and it looks like it's in.
it's one of them
Okay.
Jamal Hill type. And he
It
went to the
looks.
Brazilian Jamal Hill
It, look,
tattoo
it,
parlor.
it looks like it's in the same font as the "If you're reading this, it's too late" cover.
That's one of the like, and you look at
Which is
him
a
like,
great.
man, this guy's
That's
a.
a great album, by the way.
You look at him like this guy's a problem. I don't want to meet him on a mean street,
Literally,
and then
like,
he unanimous decisions you every time, and it's like, oh, that's it. But I mean, except for Paul Craig, Paul Craig gets smashed.
that was because he was in Brazil. He was the underdog, wasn't he?
No, he was like -700 come walking into that ring.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they
Then
flipped
we
all
had
to the wolves.
then Michel Pierre backflipping his way to a submission victory over Iho Porteria, and which some people are saying he did some illegal shit to it. Hey, and we being real.
I mean, no, the best reaction was Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen goes when he saw that he screamed at his TV. He just found a legal way to knee somebody in the face, knee the down opponent in the face, because that's what happened. I don't know. And then he also made another point. There's no coach in the world that says, "Yo, all right, y'all, we're going through technique. We're going through our lines. Go do 5 backflips on your opponent right now." Are you like, what? Where the fuck did that even come from?
He's. I wish Romeo was here because he was talking about, bro, if he just focuses, because he's a wild man, he be doing some nutty shit. Like, if he just focuses, he could be a champion one day. And he found a way to blend it. He said, I'm a focus, but I'm gonna be wild. Like it was like Kung Fu Kenny. I gotta slap a pussy. I'm gonna make it look sexy. And
Nah, for real.
he definitely got away with it because you got enough style points. You had to get this many style points for them not to call that foul. And it's like traveling in the NBA. If it looked good, we'll let that bitch go.
Yeah, we'll let it slide if you really didn't mean it for
But
real.
if I'm Ehor, I'm petitioning the moment that
I
fight.
personally think it was a chopping leg kick. It was perfectly legal. You know what I'm saying? It's a chopping leg kick. The ref didn't see anything. Dana White said it in the post game interview. Yeah, he didn't see anything wrong with it. You know, it was a simple backflip leg chop kick. It was a chopping kick down the
Simple.
road.
I love
I
using
mean,
the word simple in front of that sentence.
I mean, that's what it is. It's a chop.
But they low key was chewing dog because of how quick he gave Paul Craig. I'm not Paul Craig. Pierre his neck. Like the second he had like kind of like got in trouble just
He
immediately.
wasn't doing no dancing this time. Dana White put a shutdown to that. Dana said no more dancing. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so he didn't need to dance. So.
Yeah, he probably gave it because like, right, if someone pulled a backflip on me mid street fight, bro, I wouldn't know. I'm like, yeah, finish it too, bro. Just take me out. Then this is the wild. This right here. If Anthony Smith was Brazilian, the crowd would have went nuts.
Insane. This is
But
the equivalent to like Glover getting another dub.
but Victor Petrino was their biggest hitter at light heavyweight. Was their best hitter coming up. It was finishing motherfuckers, bro. First round only. What the fuck's a second round type of dude? Still can say he don't know what a second round is. But Anthony, shoot that takedown, give me that neck. Good night, Irie.
Guillotine season. If they was making fun of the other dude, Ehor for giving up his neck, they were disgusted by the way Vitor gave up his neck for this guillotine. I'm talking about here, take this, please. Here, this is for you. Anthony should lock that bitch in so tight.
I'm happy for Anthony Smith, man. They tried to set him up. They tried to set him up, man. They did him so dirty. They tried to set him up so bad, giving him these killers. They snapped his leg in half and stuff like that. They had done
They try to put that boy
like
in.
did you see that? There's this rumor where he like it's like an embarrassing rumor, but like he proved himself and faked it being in a wheelchair or something like I don't know, but Anthony Smith, he's a wild person. He does wild stuff, but he deserved this one. They've been trying to get him out of here for the longest. He just earned him at least a 2 extra fights. They thought they
Yeah,
were gonna get they thought they were gonna get rid of him right after this fight. They thought Jack Petrino, how you say his name, Jack Petrino, how you say his name?
Yeah.
They thought it. They thought he was gonna get Anthony Smith out of here. He was gonna go be a full-time analyst, reporter, whatever those things are.
yeah, you're not lying, big dog. I think their goal was to get was for him to get smashed in this fight, and then they would they would they would get him on as a full time analyst, right? But they would pay him the same as when they were paying him part time. They'd be like, you didn't move your brand no higher, so I'm gonna need you to work more days with the same pay. Like I feel like that's how they was trying to set that up. But
It was
because of this win, they gotta let him. Now he gotta take 2 more L's before they could put him full time. I
I
think
want to get paid more.
that's what their goal is.
they gave that boy two options, bro: the booth or a coffin. And instead, that way Anthony Smith said, "I'm gonna give you the guillotine."
he said, hey, what Gino said? Gino told us he said they trying to write me off.
I'm right back. And not riding back. On that note, Jose Aldo fulfills his final fight on his UFC contract. Most people are thinking, and he goes out with an unanimous decision ass whooping on Jonathan Martinez. A lot of people thought he was the favorite coming into this fight, and I was Jose by decision. That was my whole pick, and that's exactly what he did. He chopped that down. Like, he schooled him, like old school, like yeah, like, all on the feet too, showing that there's levels to this boxing, striking shit. And then it's only cherry on top is he's done with UFC to continue his boxing career. Like,
I
he's
like
out.
it. Go make that money in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of money to be made there. He had an amazing career, one of the all-time greats. You know what I'm saying? And he capitalized off beating an opponent. And he had a bad loss like in 2022 when he was supposed to retire. But I'm glad he came back and was able to finish his career on a win. A good one at that, a ranked opponent.
Yeah, I mean it's the King of Rio, man. You got to. It's good to see the King of Rio win in Rio. But I was just impressed by his boxing because I was thinking like, yo, since he's been training so much for boxing, do you think like he's gonna come in and put hands on dude? Oh, he put hands on Jonathan Martinez. Let me see what the fuck the significant strike shit was.
It was
Yeah, bro. He had
52.
Yeah, like bro was putting some paws on him. Like there was no control time. They barely spent any time on the ground. And the takedown he did go for was like phenomenal. Like it looked like he looked like Marab when he took him down. I think it was in the third because it was just so easy.
It was
So
4 rounds of rinse and repeat.
yeah, shout out Jose Aldo because there was a point in time where it looked like he was gonna finish him too. So shout out Jose Aldo coming in kind of. I think he was kind of the savior for this card because if he doesn't come in and like give a nice give that dominant performance, there's no really like that moment where it's like a we're in Brazil type. Nobody really gives a fuck about where we was at.
Yeah, he's the King of Rio for a reason. His name did definitely save the card over there.
Yeah,
And the next and final fight, main event, Alexander Pantoja, an unanimous decision over Steve Erceg. Was it all the same? Yeah. Oh no, 48-47, 48-47, 49-46, all in favor of the defending champion Pantoja. And fun fact, I heard this is Pantoja gets a second title defense, and he'll be the first champion in the flyweight since Demetrius Johnson to defend his belt 2 times consecutively, and will get wins.
that's crazy.
I know that's just the craziness of flyweight has been, but yeah, he's already ran through the division. He gave the next guy a chance. Steve Erceg, this is the biggest question on. Do you think down below? Let us know in the comments. Do you think Steve Erceg either A won the fight, and you're one of the fans out there thinking, "Hey, that guy won. He's the new champion," or B, you think he fumbled his chance away, and a lot of people are circling that final round, round 5, 2-2, and he decides to shoot some takedown that wasn't working instead of staying on the feet, in which he was putting the paws on him. Let us know down below, but I'm going with B. I'm going with the latter. Personally, I think this is his fight to win. His lack of experience kind of played a little bit of his downfall, and he kind of forgot he kind of maybe relied on what he thought he could do, while remembering that what he's been doing has been working in the previous rounds. It was not the shooting. Pantoja gets the control time, the 5th and final round, close fight. He willed himself in front of his crowd, got the dub. The guy who had a 49-46 is kind of wild. That was a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at this fight as Erceg. I'm definitely taking B. Erceg fumbled the bag. Like, I don't know what your game plan was nice. All you had to do was kind of just like, this is what Romeo would be like. I don't know where Romeo at. Well, like, this is
that. I'll tell you after.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where like it comes down to poverty. It comes down to who wanted it more, who wanted this, and like somehow something told you, "Hey, let's go wrestle." I don't know what told you that. I'm hoping it wasn't your coaches, but something said, "Hey, let's go wrestle," and that's what was your downfall. So but the biggest thing to this entire moment to me is the fact that he was number 10 and it was a close fight, and it looked like it could have went either way. So a rematch wouldn't be crazy. But I'm looking at this is the craziness of this entire division. And this is like, I feel like it stems from the Moreno and Figgy, like, what is it? Quadrilogy. Because, so while they was doing all that and holding up the division, Pantoja was running through the division. So by the time he got champion, like, there's nobody else left to fight for us. So it's a very interesting how this division looks. And I think there has to be like some hidden hitter that has to come take this bitch over. The Megan Medoff we don't know about yet.
Yeah, this division, it's well, first of all, Pantoja did his thing, you know what I'm saying? Craig did some bullshit at the end. I didn't agree with him doing. So Pantoja walked away with that one. But yeah, man, this division is very dull. There's no one in this division that's worth looking at. It's very dull. Well, I wouldn't say worth looking at, but there's not many names. There's not any names in this division. There's Brandon Moreno. Is he still there? He should
said
still be there, right?
take a step away for a year or so, like a
Yeah,
retirement. I think he called it a retirement, but he'll be back. Like, he's not retired. He's just gonna be gone for a year or so. So he's not.
yeah, he needs to. He takes a lot. He takes a lot of damage. He needs to.
Yeah, no cap.
Like, there's no fight with him coming up. He already took care of the Roy Ball, and then now, I mean, Kai Car.
Nah, this is legit that
something
like that.
Kai, he needs to fight. He's been ducking Kai for a while. He needs to fight Kai.
Now, who's the one that beat Kai last summer?
Bro, Pantoja's been ducking Kai for a while, bro. Kai needs that smoke.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? The dude that beat Kai last summer, and I was mad because I thought they robbed Kai.
Let me see. I can look it up.
Whoever that is, I think he's next, and then they got to give it to my dog Kai.
Oh, Amir Albazi.
Yeah, I think they got to give it to him next.
Yeah, Amir Albazi probably is one of the next guys. He's undefeated too in the UFC. But
I'm shocked they didn't give it to him this one.
Yeah, that's he's like the Belial of the division, low key, with the way people be giving him respect. Like, they be disrespecting the fuck out of Amir Albazi. But Pantoja, I mean, he's old too, so like, honestly, he could get like one more defense in, and it could be like Gator says, it's not really much like money wise for him to like. I don't know how much of his. He seems like he already kind of like is happy. I don't want to say happy is the right word, but seems like he's kind of fulfilled in his UFC dream, and he does mighty incredible. And he beat Brandon Moreno, which was the big thing. Like after he beat him, I think he was kind of done.
3 times.
Yeah, and now he's here just kind of like putting a cherry on top of his thing. And as long as he can go out with the belt, I think he's gonna be one of the few people that retire with the belt.
Oh yeah, I also said I always be happy if Pantoja finally got Moreno out of here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was getting sick of seeing Moreno fight. You know what I'm saying? It was annoying. Get
Damn.
him out of here.
Maybe I'm just not that big a Pantoja believer, but like I don't think it goes like that. I don't think he rides off in the sunset. I think somebody comes through and fucks him up because every fight has been close except the Rodon fight.
Yeah. Well, that is the funness of flyweight. Flyweight when Figgy had his Demetrius Johnson, like they had little holds on it, but other than that, it's been a fucking pinball machine on who's champion and for how long. Any final thoughts on 301 before we head out, boys?
Hey, if you ever go to Brazil, go to Salvador. I guess that shit is popping.
Appreciate that drop of knowledge. Well,
I was telling some Brazilians about how the UFC was in Brazil, and they was telling me all about this spot called Salvador, and that shit goes lit.
well, Rio de Janeiro.
Speaking of Brazilians, did I tell you about a mutual?
You say what?
Oh no, I didn't tell KK about a mutual yet. But go ahead, Craig.
But before we gotta get up out of here, 301 Pantoja Erceg was going crazy, defending his belt, 2-time defense. Jose Aldo, he's going off in the sunset into boxing to make some big money. As always, drop a like and subscribe. Comment your overall thought on the card. Drop your thoughts on the Erceg performance. I'm Paul picking one with Kevin, Water Voices Boy, Southpaw's Run Boxing Jamari. And if y'all didn't know, well, now you know, motherfuckers.